Hello, it's Sean. I'm going to make an effort at putting together a video after action report, or playthrough I guess, of our game of Congo that we're going to play today. It's our second game playing it. So it's the second scenario, King of the Apes. Randy's going to be the hunters and I'm going to be the forest tribe, the worshippers of Kong. My force has two divisions. I've got 2 units of archers here and a unit of hunters from the forest tribes, and I've got a chieftain here with those archers, and then these guys are my second group. I've got 3 units of young warriors and a champion with them, and then we have Kong as well. Alright, my opponent tonight has the white men expeditions. The hunters, they're looking for Kong. They want to capture him alive. His force, he has 2 units of young warriors here. He has a unit of archers. This is a unit of scouts. He has some trained Askari, and they have a porter attached, and this is a retired officer. And he has a unit of soldiers with a porter attached, and then he has a unit of adventurers and a reporter with them as well. He has exhausted. It's a rule for the scenario, so he had to roll for each of his units. He rolled pretty poorly, and every unit is, except for one, has a stress token, and he lost a couple of models from those units as well. Alright, this is the table that we're going to play on. We're not playing on the whole width. The edge here defines the ends of the table on both sides. So Kong gets set up in the middle of the board. He's in there. These dice are representative of the area that he's allowed to move into, and there's sacred objects there, tokens that the hunters are going to try to pick up as well for victory points. And we're going to get started. For the first round of actions, I played a 4-move card. Randy played a 2-move card. He brought on a couple units first, and then I brought on most of my force. The second action, we flip-flopped. I played the 2-move, and he played the 4-move. So I'm bringing on the whole rest of my force, and I think he'll probably get most of his on as well. Our third cards, for the third activation, I played a move and an influence, and I tried to cause terror on these scouts here, but he avoided that. And then I moved my young warriors, and my chieftain over here, my champion lets them go. He can make a unit, 2 units of young warriors move that are within medium of him. So all 3 of these units got to move on his 1 movement activation. Randy played a 3 influence card, and he rallied a couple units, and he got rid of 2 stress tokens, but the scouts failed and they kept theirs. And that's the end of turn 1. Alright, the first activation of turn 2, I played the 4 movement. My champion made a move and brought along his 2 young warrior groups next to him, and then my other 3 movement actions were on those guys, and they all advanced forward. Randy also did 4 movement actions. He moved... What did you move? You moved these 4 groups over here forward. And that was round 1. Card activation phase 1 of turn 2. For the second activation, I played a 2-move card, and Randy also played a 2-move card. I moved this group of warriors forward with the champion's ability, and I moved those archers over there forward. My third round, Randy played 3 influence. He's trying to get rid of some of the stress he got by being exhausted at the beginning of the game. I played the move and influence. I tried to cause terror on a unit, and he succeeded on their roll. And then I moved those archers forward over there. And that's the end of round. The first activation of turn 3, Randy moved those archers forward, and he also tried to remove the stress on one of his units, but he failed. And then on my turn, my card, I did 3 terror actions, one on these archers, one on these scouts, one on these warriors. The archers and the scouts both took a terror token. Second activation, Randy is moving 2 units, and looks like his adventurers and his soldiers. And my activation, I have a shoot and a move, and I'm going to try to shoot with those archers against the scouts. And I think I'm going to try to move these guys again as a whole big group. So for my third activation phase, I had 2 movements. I moved forward these archers, and then I moved forward my warriors out of the terrain over here. I got some charges. I charged his unit of Ascaris, and I killed a couple and forced them to retreat, and then these warriors attacked the archers and killed a couple and forced them to retreat. He shot at me with his Ascaris at my warriors there, and they missed, and now he's charging me with his warriors against my warriors and my champion. My first activation was a influence and a move. I tried to cause a terror on his archers and failed, and then I moved and attacked his Ascaria unit over there with my warriors and champion, and I succeeded in killing a couple and pushing them back to the table edge, so they lost another model there. He shot at me and didn't do, or no, he killed a guy, and then he did a rally on a unit and didn't get rid of any tokens. For my third activation, I shot at his scouts with those archers and wiped them out, and then I moved up my young warriors over here. Couldn't activate the group with the champion or the other warriors because they have panic tokens, so I had to move the other warriors up to threaten the groups over here. Randy has got a shoot and a move that he's going to do. I think he's going to charge my group and then shoot me with his archers. So he actually shot with the young warriors over there, and then he's moving the soldiers over here, and he played a totem card that gives them a little bit extra movement so they can get a little bit closer to King Kong. Alright, the first activation this turn, turn 6, Randy did a rally on one of his units, and he shot at my warriors with the champion. He got some hits, but I saved them. And then I had 2 movement actions, so the champion used those to get lots of charges with the other units. So I charged his warriors with my champion and its unit and drove them off, and then I charged the warriors with my other warrior unit, and then my final warrior unit charged his archers. So I did pretty good damage, but his warrior unit is gone now, and his archer unit has only got 3 guys left. Then my other move was to move up my hunters over here and try and block off these soldiers from taking Kong. Alright, for the second activation, Randy had 3 shoot, and I had a morale and a shoot, but he played the initiative card, so he got to go first. He had 2 units shoot at my hunters here, the adventurers and these warriors, and they saved their wounds, but they went to ground to do it, so they got a stress token in the process. I tried to rally those hunters but failed, and then I shot at his character over there who's lonely and all by himself, but he made a save and didn't have to die yet. Alright, for the third activation of round 6, Randy had a shoot and a move. He shot at Kong and missed.
And hit once and you saved.
Yeah, he hit once and then Kong saved. And then he charged his journalist, or no, the retired soldier at the unit of young warriors in a valiant attempt to break out of the little corner he was pinned in, and he died a brutal death. It was awful. Blood everywhere. It was very tragic. But he's dead now. I shot at the archers over there and made them, or no, I charged the archers over there and made them run away, and then I shot at the warriors over here with my hunters, and I killed a guy, and they got a couple stress tokens from going to ground. Alright, the game ended on the first activation of turn 7, so looks like I got 6 victory points because I wiped out 2 of his units, and he got 2 victory points because he only did 2 wounds to Kong. It's kind of a one-sided game. Randy's dice weren't great, but they weren't awful like they were last time. My dice were pretty good throughout the game. That champion has a special ability that lets him move 2 young warrior units within medium distance of him at the start of his turn. So I used him to move those 3 warrior units across the board, get multiple charges on same activations, which was very powerful. Kind of scarily so. I don't know if that's an overpowered thing or not, but it seemed pretty powerful in my mind. Overall, I had fun. Hope Randy had fun. It was an interesting game. Kong didn't play very much into it. He was a target, and I didn't activate him very much, so really nobody was within range of him, so he's bound by the close area of those trees. So since nobody came at him, he really couldn't do much anyway. So look forward to our next game. Thanks for watching.